Hello, friends. Those Back Pages here. I hope you're well. So, as you can tell by the title of tonight's episode, this is going to be a big deal, or it might be a nothing burger. Only time will tell. And time is what it is, right? So, let's get into it. As you can tell by the title gives it away, but here we go. I believe, this is only my opinion, not sponsored by anybody, not representing anybody, just my total opinion here is that within the next 3 to 5 years, well, first let me say I think that Caitlin Clark is going to save basketball. I know. I think that's what I'm going to title it, and it's going to, people be like, oh, what are you talking about? That's crazy. Blah, blah, blah. Hear me out. Let me explain. The NBA, and again, this is my opinion and my opinion only. Not everyone is going to share my opinion, and that's the way it's always been, and that's fine. The NBA is garbage. It's boring. It's dribble up, take a three, run back, pretend to play defense. Hardly anybody posts up anymore. There's no inside game. It's all 3 points. What are they taking? 50 or 60 3-point shots a game. Very boring. I think there's a few reasons for this. I think that your average NBA player now is physically too large. Go ahead, let it out of your system. What I mean by that is the human being is so much larger now than it was 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. And they've simply outgrown the size of the court. The dimensions of the court have not changed. The rim is still 10 feet high. So it's led to a very, again, in my opinion only, a very bland version of the game that was invented. Now, the other sports, hockey has changed, but let's be honest, very few people care about hockey. Football is constantly changing. Obviously, the field dimensions are the same, but you're not allowed to hit anybody anymore, especially the quarterback. That's a discussion for another time. Baseball, the stadiums are what the stadiums are. They're not all cookie cutter. They're not all the same dimensions. It's still 90 feet between bases. The bases are bigger. Blah blah blah. People are complaining stealing bases is easy. That's something for another time. Discussion for another time. The NBA has outgrown. The human species has outgrown the NBA. They need to do something about it. They're not gonna. They make billions of dollars. Nothing's gonna change. But I personally don't watch the NBA. I'll tune in every once in a while if there's a milestone. If LeBron's coming up on a milestone or something, and I'd rather watch Michael on YouTube personally. But that's just me, and I know I'm not alone in that. So what I mean by when I say Caitlin Clark is going to save basketball, I don't watch college basketball, men's or women's. I used to watch men's back in the 80s, but I haven't watched it. I watched the Running Rebels in the early 90s with Larry Johnson, Stacey Augmon, and etc. But even that I faded out on. Before this year, I would, back when the pandemic started, I collected some WNBA. I have some Tarasis, a couple Sue Birds, stuff like that. But, that was more of a, hey, this stuff's super cheap. It's the pandemic, we're not doing anything, let's talk about it. Talking about it with your friends leads to you getting involved with it in the card aspect of things. Anyway. But then that faded out. But that's not a surprise for me personally. It's how I operate, good, bad, or indifferent. That's how I operate. But, back probably, what, 6 months ago now, going on 6 months ago now, I had heard of Caitlin Clark, but college basketball, who cares? Especially it's women's college basketball, who cares? So, I started watching. Like, I didn't really pay attention, and a couple of friends were like, you really just click on, watch a couple YouTube videos. And a couple of my friends said, how you did with Messi back in there? It's all right, why not? Bored, do it. Very impressed. And, watched, her, the Caitlin games in college with Iowa, and season comes to an end, they lose. That sucks. Losing sucks. Gets drafted number 1 overall by the Indiana Fever in the WNBA. It's like, that's good. I mean, let me, do a little Google on the Indiana Fever. They're not very good. That was 24, I think, was going to be the second year in a row they were going to have the number 1 pick. They drafted Aaliyah Boston, I think her name is, in 23, the number 1 pick. Blah, blah, blah. Then I see a lot of comments, social media comments. Oh, Caitlin Clark's going to suck in the WNBA. She's going to be overmatched. She's playing against adults now, not some, pimple-faced little girls playing in college basketball. And, they're real big-time WNBA hardcore. I won't get into that, but so I was like, all right, well, let me tune in, see how it goes. And I tuned in. I was, entertained, as, professional sports is entertainment. So, and I just kept everyone, like Diana Taurasi, Cheryl Swoops, all these, old heads, as they call them, all-time greats. Oh, they're pissing on her. She's overrated. She's never going to make it. The usual sayings. And, she starts, I'm not going to give you her whole rookie year history, but she starts off slow and gets better and gets left off the Olympic team. Oh, it doesn't matter. She didn't need to go to the Olympics. There's players that are more deserving to go to the Olympics, and blah, 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 the usual. So, that came and went, and then ever since the Olympics ended, it's almost like she's taken it to another level, and it's been very impressive. Very, very impressive. Now, unfortunately, Panini hasn't put out any packs of WNBA cards for this season, and the season's pretty much over now. I learned recently that this is par for the course for Panini. They usually put out WNBA after the season is over. That's how they've done it in the past, and to me that's stupid. They're really missing an opportunity here to move a lot of product. And if you think about it, Panini Instant, she has a bunch of Panini Instant, which is, if you're not familiar with it, it's essentially Topps Now for Panini products. Print to order, order as many as you want, blah blah blah, same as Topps Now. And I really don't have any interest in them because I treat them like Topps Now. And Topps Now are fun to have. They commemorate a particular moment in time, a game, a achievement, something memorable. Anyway, so as of right now, there's still no WNBA packs. I think next month Origins is supposed to come out, which is one of those high-end products. It's like a 4-card box, like $300 or something silly, something not for me. They're gonna put out Prism. It's gonna be stupid priced like Prism has been for wrestling and football, basketball. I'm hoping that they do something like Chronicles, That would be nice. Again, we'll see what the future holds in that regard. Now, when I say save basketball, what I really mean, I'm talking about cards. NBA cards will be fine. Especially, look at what Topps, the shenanigans Topps is doing right now with 2023 Topps Chrome basketball. It's not NBA because it's not licensed, which is fine. I have no problem with products being like that, because look, this one, is not licensed. Excuse me. 69 Topps Alcindor. We won't even get into the fact that Topps didn't even care about basketball, because they made a set in 57 and then didn't make a set until 69. Flair made one in 61, but that was it. That's pretty embarrassing. But again, that's a topic for another day. So, what am I talking about? You pretty much see here a representation, hobby-wise, of the people that the hobby care about. Let's be honest here. I know it's painful conversation sometimes. People don't like to have it. The hobby doesn't care about Oscar Robertson. The hobby does not care about Patrick Ewing. The hobby does not care about Tim Duncan. Again, there's super hard, PMGs and super rare stuff. I'm not even talking about that. General, everyday cards. They don't care. It is what it is. It happens in all the sports. And that's just the way it is. It is what it is. Now, I brought these out as a representation on purpose because these are still relevant. I guess even Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is borderline. As painful as it is to say that, it is what it is. Dr. J is certainly borderline. Bird Magic, they're pretty popular. Of course, Michael. And, I won't get into it here, but there's a whole debate about this. This is the 96 refractor version, commemorative. But the original 101, there's a big debate going on. Oh, it's better than the Fleer, blah, blah, blah. This is the 101 is the rookie. The Fleer's not a rookie, blah, blah, blah. Then we have this, Court Kings from 84, which I'll just say it now quickly, but depending on, who you believe, and, to me, the most trusted source in star basketball is the cardboardgold.com, and they say that this came out before the 101. So there's that. So this should be the rookie card, but it's a large card, blah, blah, blah. You can, like anything else, you can bend it however you want. Now, what I mean by Caitlin's going to save basketball, I think that Caitlin is special. Very, very special. She's elevated the entire league. We really haven't seen that since Bird Magic came into the league, and then Michael took it higher. I think that's where we're going with Caitlin. I just do. Now, talking strictly hobby. Okay. I'll just bring out some Caitlins here. This one you've seen before. The second year Bowman University Chrome Gold Refractor. Just a shiny card, Iowa card. This was the VIP pack that they gave out at the show this year. Talk about that in a second. I think I got a lot to say about that. And then I went ahead and picked up a PSA 8 copy of this because it's very... When you have a good look at this with these red borders, the red corners. This is a non-chromium card. I won't use the P word. It does have a little gloss on the front, but the back does not. So it's very susceptible. Plus, it's the first card. on all the sets. Okay. So I think that Caitlin is going to transcend the WNBA. She's already has some. Whoops. Some might say she already has. To be hobby relevant, you have to do that. You know, you don't have to be an NHL fan to know who Wayne Gretzky is. But you might not know who Patrick Roy is. You'll probably say Patrick Roy if you saw his name. Baseball, same thing. There's guys that baseball's different, but football, you know, you don't need to be a football guy to know who Tom Brady is. Barry Sanders. You know, you've got guys like that transcend their sport. And I think we're going to see that with Caitlin. I really, really do. I actually just heard today on the interwebs there are people in Iceland, the country of Iceland, that are setting up watch parties for Caitlin's games. And they usually start like 11 p.m. or 12 a.m. their time. So there was a picture with two women with each with a daughter or whatever, the young daughters, probably 7, 8, 9 years old. They had Fever jerseys on. So I think that if she hasn't already transcended her particular sport, we're not getting any shine there. She will. I think because she's already setting so many records now as a rookie in the WNBA, it's safe to say that she has not and will not fail in the WNBA. And I think that as time goes by, she's going to get better. You know, they're roughing her up. I think she's going to get stronger. She's 22 years old. Again, people are calling me crazy. My friends I'm telling this to, they all call me crazy, and that's fine. I've been called a lot of names over the years. It reminds me of when Michael used to face the Pistons, and they used to beat the piss out of him. Night in, night out. Night in, night out. They physically try to hurt him. Made him stronger. Made him a better athlete, better basketball player. I think that's what's going to happen with Caitlin. I just, again, you know, I am certainly willing to put my collection where my mouth is, given the opportunity. But we don't have any Fever cards yet, so. And it brings me to this. That's tied back to the 84 star 101, not one of one, 101. That star set, the 84 101, was issued as a team set regionally in Chicago, depending on what you believe or not. Anyway, point being, it was issued only as a team set. There were no packs. There were no sets, complete sets. It was just team bag sets. And very reminiscent of this card. This card was only available to VIP members at the National this year. That came in your VIP package. 10 card set. She's in it. Angel Reese is in it. Wemby's in it. There's 7 other people I can't think of in it. I think at least half of them are WNBA players. So I am a big fan of this card, obviously, because I bought an extra copy here. I'm very happy to have this in the collection. It's pretty much our first Fever card with in-game action. You know, I guess you could count some of the instants, but I don't. Technically, I guess this isn't either, but I am a big fan of this. I don't know how many they made. They're not gonna tell us. But I would, if I had to guesstimate, I'd say probably about 3,000 sets. Maybe 5,000, I don't know. But then again, let's say it is 5,000. Is that a lot? For what I feel she's going to become, to me, it's not a lot. Again, it's just it's a VIP, it's a promo, it's a throwaway, and she's got a bazillion different Not of this. She's got a bazillion different cards in the silver and gold packs that Panini did at the show. The promotional packs, the 2-card packs, the silver packs, and the gold packs. But there's plenty of parallels. This might wind up being the only card she has. Not SI for kids, but certainly the only Fever card she has that has no parallels. There's just that one version. That's it. There's just the one version. There's no parallel. You know how I feel about that. I'm very, very keen on that, because you own that card, you own the entire rainbow. I think that's important. So yeah, I just wanted to, get my thoughts recorded on this. And I really, really believe that I'm going to be right about this.